Welcome to today's reading. I have 3 piles for you to choose from. Pile number 1 is the Light Seers Tarot. Pile number 2 is the Everyday Witch. And pile number 3 is the Dungeon and Dragons Tarot. So just take your time and choose your pile, and I will see you in your reading. All right, welcome pile 1. I have already pulled your cards out, and looks like you have someone coming in. Seems like it could be something that's really going to be emotionally fulfilling, and I have a feeling they will be they might help you to expand your mind. So emotionally fulfilling and some mind expansion. They could be an earth sign, and it seems like you've been through some very similar things together. Not together, but like, I guess in your lives, you've experienced similar things, which I guess you would have things in common. It looks like you've both been on a very powerful journey of like independence, I feel like, and like, having to be brave and stand up for yourselves, and like, so potentially you've both been through dealing with people that have put you in positions that you really need to stand your ground. Yeah, it looks really lovely. I think it'll be very I think this person will be really like a provider for you, and very grounded. So if they're not an earth sign, I guess they would have a lot of earth attributes, like groundedness and like, yeah, being that provider. I also forgot to mention that, with like this divine counterpart, the King and Queen of Wands, it's going to be very passionate, like very fulfilling and very passionate. Which, I don't know, it could be a little scary. That line in the background makes me feel like, it could be quite intimidating when it comes in. It could look like it's too good to be true, but with that 10 of Cups, like, it's definitely going to be emotionally fulfilling for you. Anyway, I hope you like that reading. Bear with me, like, this is my first video that I've done, so let me know how it goes. Feel free to post in the comments. Thank you, pile 1. Welcome, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. So, from what I can see, it looks like you're in this Page of Cups energy. You're just kind of living your life quite innocent, naively. I feel like there's like a happy-go-lucky energy here where, you just want to create, explore, try new things. It definitely comes across like it's quite a innocent energy. And then there also seems to be another person here in this reverse Nine of Wands energy. I think they seem like they're quite reactive, but they potentially don't have great emotional regulation. Seems like they're, yeah, very reactive. That fire-breathing dragon. Looks like it's put you in some kind of stagnation where you feel stuck, kind of in limbo maybe, where you're just waiting. Actually, it does give me like a waiting energy. Like you're trying to be patient. It's not reactive. I feel like there's a contrast between the two. One person's quite reactive and the other person is not reacting and just waiting for the clouds to dissipate, I guess. Yeah. I guess while you're waiting, it seems like there's some contemplation here with, while you're waiting, you're like reassessing, potentially reassessing what went wrong, if there was some kind of conflict or if this person has reacted in a way towards you. Yeah, maybe you're kind of contemplating or going over everything that's happened and just getting things in order. Maybe getting your life in order, just making sure you've dotted your I's and crossed your T's. I guess is what I'm getting. Yeah, it's a very patient energy here, which is really lovely. Also, this Page of Wands at the end, it actually kind of gives me the vibes of like, this is going to put you in a new, or like in a direction where you're going to feel more passionate, or you're gonna find more direction, I think, in regard to something that you're potentially passionate about, or you're learning. If that's not the case, it's like you're learning to stand up for yourself, potentially, in regard to people like this, and you're only just at the beginning of the journey. Yeah, which is nice. It seems like there's a lot of growth here, a lot of potential for growth too, with the pentacles and whatnot. I see like all these flowers. It's quite abundant, like flowers that are growing. Yeah, more flowers over here. Whatever it is, it's whatever that's growing. It seems it's quite lovely. It's quite a nice energy. So I guess you should be proud of yourself if you need someone to tell you that. Yeah, and look, the grapes over here too. Yeah, the potentially you have some abundance coming in, or something, some form of abundance that's gonna come in after this. Maybe because of it, you know. Anyway, pile 2, I hope you enjoyed that reading. Let me know in the comments how it resonated for you, and I will talk to you next time. Bye. Welcome, pile 3. If you've chosen pile 3, it looks as though you have decided to walk away from something that's been emotionally draining for you. With the 8 of Wisdom here, it's like he's, been trying to protect himself or defend himself from what I would imagine other people's emotions. And the 8 of Cups, generally in the Rider-Waite Tarot, is walking away, deciding that not going to participate any longer and going to walk away. So yeah, I feel like that's the underlying energy. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Now with the Queen of Intelligence, which is the Queen of Swords in reverse, it seems like there could be somebody very, not in a very good energy. It kind of comes across like they could be quite harsh with their words. I'm hearing like silver tongue. Is that the right the right words? Yeah, it doesn't really feel that nice. It kind of feels a bit spiky. So I don't know if you've been dealing with somebody like that, or maybe you've been feeling at the moment you've been reacting like that. It kind of feels like you've been dealing with somebody like this, which is why you've decided to, move on, move on from this type of energy, which I don't blame you. Doesn't feel nice. I think in doing so, you are gonna have a lot of growth from it, like a lot of abundance. It seems like, this apple tree hasn't fruited yet, but there's this apple right in the center, and it's like the tree's, ready, and here he is, like he's like working on it. He's actually putting energy. It's actually, it kind of makes me feel like he's focusing his energy elsewhere. He's not actually paying any attention to this other, person or people who kind of seem like they're just distracting. They're just like a distracting energy, and he's not paying it any mind. He's actually focusing on something else, which would make sense with like, the walking away, choosing to emotionally invest elsewhere. And he's choosing to emotionally invest in his own abundance, and his own personal growth. And then I noticed behind him he's got all these, apple trees that actually have fruited. So I feel like there's a lot of potential here. I also feel like you have some spirit guidance at the moment, which is really nice. That's nice to feel like you're being supported. What else? Yeah, and over here too, like these to me, they look like they're little spirit guide orbs, which I don't know if they are, but they definitely remind me of like the little spirit guide orbs, like your little spirit team around you, helping you potentially discern, help you decide where you're going to invest your energy. Yeah. Eight of Strength. This looks to me like you moving on and looking out into a new, a nicer, like walking out into the light. Like it gives me the vibes of like keeping a positive mindset and not letting this type of negative vibration really affect your mindset, by not paying it attention and actually just looking to where there is light instead, which is really lovely. Yeah, and it looks like there's a lot of support too, like you have supportive relationships that are going to back you up during this time. So you have your guides on in spirit, and then you also have like supportive relationships in person, which I guess, I don't know, what more could you ask for? We do always have to deal with uncomfortable situations. I guess it's a part of our journeys and our growth. But when we are supported, it makes it a lot easier for us. So yeah, I'm also noticing there's like two as well. Maybe you have two predominant spirit guides, or maybe one of them could be like a spirit animal if they resonate for you. Let me know in the comments. And that is all, pile 3. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. See you in the next one.